when can we expect the first Avengers Doomsday trailer? Alright, so I do think I know when we can expect our first teaser for Doomsday and what it'll look like, as well as the first, second, and third full trailers as well. So Doomsday is in the midst of shooting right now, and it is set to hit theaters in December of 2026, so a little over a year away. And many are of course wondering when we're finally going to get our first glimpse of what the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige and RDJ are cooking for this fifth installment of the biggest movie franchise of all time, the Avengers.
Avengers? We're the Avengers, not the pre-Vengers.
Okay. Well, I think I know what we can expect from this first teaser and then for the first trailer. Now, so far, all we've gotten is a few behind-the-scenes set photos and videos, some official, some not so official, but they've honestly done a surprisingly great job, I would say, at keeping this movie on lockdown when it comes to leaks. So we're of course all itching for that first teaser, but so far all we've gotten is the big Jared video where we got a portion of the cast announced, and we're still waiting for that second big casting announcement of characters such as Spider-Man, Deadpool, Wolverine, and more. Will it be chairs, maybe couches, futons? Futon watch. So the typical release schedule for blockbuster level trailers, meaning, big films like Doomsday, is we get a teaser about a year out and then the first official trailer about 6 months out. Now, keep in mind, a teaser, that is a shorter and more vague tease for the film, whereas a full trailer shares more of the story and of course more footage. So assuming the film's release date doesn't change again and move to May of 2027, this is when I think we can expect to see the first Doomsday teaser. Christmas. The first teaser for Doomsday should drop on December 18th, exactly 1 year prior to Doomsday's release, and alongside the premiere of Disney's 2025 December blockbuster, Avatar: Fire and Ash. It's very common for a studio to release the first teaser or the first trailer for one of their big movies alongside the release of another one of their big movies. Now, I'm not saying they're going to keep the teaser exclusive to theaters and playing in front of Fire and Ash. They're going to drop it online too, because if they don't, there's just going to be a shit ton of cell phone videos uploaded of the trailer to YouTube and shit, and then I'll of course cover it as you would expect. But I think that would kind of undercut the whole big trailer drop, or big teaser drop. So they're just going to drop the teaser, I would think, as well, that same night, or at least the next morning. And I remember 10 years ago, I think, that the first trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron, it was supposed to drop during the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., one of the episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But the trailer ended up leaking, so Marvel just went ahead and dropped the trailer a day early because they didn't want everybody's first look at the movie to be this leaked copy, that they wanted to have the first official copy out there and for that to get the buzz, because there was going to be buzz one way or the other, so they'd rather it be through official channels. And hey, by the way, speaking of Doom, be sure to check out our Iron Man and Dr. Doom pointing meme shirt, link in the description below. So, December, that's when we can expect our first teaser, which will likely be similar to that quasi-teaser we got just recently at D23, which featured lines from various heroes in their other films and this montage teasing them all coming together, just like they did for Infinity War. But the teaser will end, but I think the teaser will end in all likelihood with a brand new line from RTJ as Doom. I seriously doubt they show his face in the teaser. They're probably just going to show him in the mask, but full frontal, okay. Instead of that behind the hood shot with him holding the mask, they'll probably show him in the hood with the mask and looking up and saying something sinister. And I'm not even certain that they're going to actually show RDJ's face in any of the marketing, because, Doom, he so rarely takes off his mask in the comics, and that's a big part of his character, but not showing it. I've heard some suggest, my great friend, my boss, my good friend, Ryan Airy, I love him to death, but he has said it would be awesome if they just didn't even show his face at all. You don't bring in a Robert Downey Junior to play Doom and then not show his face at all in the movie. And I really don't think you do it for the trailer either. I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity to not show the face of your biggest draw in any of your marketing. I'm also of the opinion, especially with it having leaked, the Andrew and Toby being in No Way Home, They should have just put them in the damn trailers, if you ask me. As far as the first official trailer goes, like beyond that of a teaser, you shouldn't expect that until around June of like 2026, 6 months out from the release of the film. For a long time, movies, especially these big movies, they started doing this thing where they would drop trailers more than 6 months out from the release of the film. And that's just a waste of money for almost any movie. And I get doing like a teaser type thing that early for like a Marvel, DC, or Star Wars movie, especially if you want to show something like at a fan event. In fact, speaking of fan events, I do think it would be better if they saved the first trailer for a little closer to the movie in July of 2026 at San Diego Comic-Con, or push it even a little closer to the movie and have it in August at D23. Because, guys, the point of a trailer is to advertise the movie. And when you start advertising it too early, the money you spent on that very expensive marketing becomes for naught because it was too far out from the actual release. So 6 months really is the absolute earliest you should be releasing these trailers. And then as for trailers 2 and 3, those really shouldn't be dropping, I would say, at the soonest, the 3 month out mark. I think if you have a second trailer released when the movie is still more than 3 months out, oh my God, no, you ramp it up and it's like a sharp incline. Like you tease a little, maybe then you have the first trailer, and then you wait till you're right up at the release of the movie to really start putting stuff out and putting out TV spots. And God, they put out way too many TV spots, but don't get me started on that. Anyway, again, the point of these trailers is to market the movie and get people pumped and planning to go see the film. And when the marketing campaign and its budget are stretched out over too long of a span of time, they become far less effective than they could and would be if you save the bulk of the campaign for those 3, or I'd say really even 2 months before release. So there's my long roundabout way of my prediction that I think you can pretty safely take to the bank that we will get our first teaser for Doomsday in December, and then our first trailer in June. Hey everybody, Colton here, and this is the Mailbag style show where I take your questions about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movies and streaming in general. Whatever you want to ask, send it into the email address AskColtonNow@gmail.com, link in the description below. And hey, maybe you'll see your question featured right here on the show.
You're still here. It's over.